this is Val from valkayink, and today we are doing a Q&A special. This is going to be for 500 subscribers, and I just want to say hi to all my subscribers. You guys rock, and I think we should get this Q&A started. Okay, it is also like a zillion degrees up in here, so I can't do anything with my hair. Sorry, that's just how it is. And I am going to actually read off the questions because I'm old school. I like stationery and colored pens. This first question was submitted by BB's World, and BB had a bunch of questions for me, so let's get into those. Do you play Pokemon Go? My phone actually doesn't support Pokemon Go, but I still think it's an awesome app and a really fun game, and I'm really happy that everyone's into it. More Pokemon stuff, the better. Next question, I gotta read, hold on. Any advice you would give to someone wanting to start figure collecting? I think for someone that's just starting to get into any sort of collecting or any sort of collection or any sort of hobby, start out with one really good figure. Start out really considering the item that you want to purchase, considering how happy it makes you. Try having one first and see how you feel, and make it a character that's important to you, a show you know, a line that you might have seen in figure reviews. I think that helps, and trust me, once you get started, you will keep collecting. It's really fun. Ooh, I always like Pokemon questions. So, favorite Pokemon generation, favorite Pokemon. My favorite generation is actually Generation 2. I remember being a kid and being so excited that we were finally getting more Pokemon than the original 150. So I've always had a soft spot for that generation and those games. Gosh, I like a lot of Psychic, Ghost, and Electric Pokemon. I don't know why, I just seem to gravitate towards those. Right off the bat, I like Raichu, Electros, I really like Steelix, I really like Espeon. Basically all the evolutions are favorites of mine. And yeah, I really like Crobat for some reason. I just like that Pokemon. Most underrated anime. Ooh, this is a really good question. Yeah, this is weird too, because with underrated anime, I feel like a lot of it has to do with what you personally really love. And so even though you think everyone should be talking about it, not everyone will necessarily like that anime. I think a really great underrated anime is Time of Eve, and that is a great anime because it's very philosophical. It really looks into the idea of AI becoming a life of its own, and what does it mean, you know, if a robot can learn to make choices for itself and love, well, then where do you start drawing the line? It's a fascinating and a very quick little series, but I really enjoyed it, and I've never heard anyone talk about it. But again, you have to really like, you know, a slower paced anime that's more asking you questions than giving you a big action story. Most expensive figure. I actually did a review recently on my most expensive figure, and that was the Real Action Heroes Legend of Zelda Link, and that was the Skyward Sword edition. I actually have a video. I'll put a link to it at the end of this video or in the description. I promise I'll remember to do those this time. Rarest figure. Ooh. You know, I don't actually know for sure my rarest figure. I know which one was really hard for me to get and which one I can never find again. I do have the Figuarts Zero figure of Bartolomeo from One Piece, and that was not only just a limited edition, but it was a limited release, meaning only certain stores could put it out. So it was really hard to find for a good price. I got a great deal on mine, but people that talk to me about that figure are like, yeah, I paid like double, triple for it, and I had no idea it would be that rare. Best deal on a figure. This is still my dream deal. I still love this. My best deal on a figure that I ever actually received was the door painting figure collection Crocodile. I actually got that off of a Black Friday sale, and I think I was scanning the website while I was at work when I shouldn't have been. Well. But it ended up being $30 and free shipping because of the Black Friday sale, and it's a huge figure. It's one of my favorites. I'll actually get some shots of it in here for you guys. Room tour, collection video. I promise as soon as I move, I will do that. I haven't moved yet because I need the house to sell. So I thought the house would sell a little faster and I could move and set up everything. But yeah, until I get a new room, it's not gonna happen. But I promise as soon as I move and I have everything out, you guys are getting a tour. This question is so funny. I really love when you guys throw in these weird ones. Is it ice cream when it's melted? Technically at that point, isn't it a smoothie or like a milkshake? I think the real question is that a smoothie or a milkshake? Depends on the ice cream. Gotta think about that one. My good friend Boyish Figure also had some questions for this. His first question was, what is an anime that everyone loves but you could never get into? This is gonna sound so strange. And I should be into this. It has everything that I like, but I've never been able to get into Bleach. And that's not because I think it's bad. It's not because I think it isn't a good anime. It's not because I think it's a bad manga. For some reason, every time I've tried to like start reading it or start watching it, something doesn't click with me. And I can't get into it. And I should. It's shonen, it's Shinigami, there's big wars, and there's really cool character designs. It has awesome openings. For some reason I can't get into that. I'm gonna try again at some point, I promise, because people tell me good things. How excited are you for Osamatsu-san Season 2? Next set of questions are from Edward Newgate. Oh my gosh, I love seeing your name and your icon in my videos. Thank you for that. Anyway, these are One Piece questions. I'm dying to answer some One Piece questions. I always want to gab on and on about One Piece. You guys know me. Who are your top 5 favorite One Piece characters? Alright, I'm thinking. The easiest way to answer this is to look back at who I got to level 100 in the Pirate Warrior series. So, Luffy, number 1. I've always loved Luffy. He's the reason why I keep reading One Piece, to be honest. I remember back when I first started reading One Piece, and I was just so enamored with Luffy. So Luffy, Smoker, Law, Kuzan, and Nami, and Chopper and Nami. Who are some of your least favorite characters in One Piece? Ooh, wow. You guys know I don't normally talk about my least favorites or dislikes, and the reason for that being, I don't want people to take it the wrong way. It's only an opinion on my side, so if I dislike a series or a character, that doesn't take away from the series or the character at all, or what they mean to you. So just know that my dislikes are just kind of personal views. I'm not trying to attack anyone with them. Yeah, I do definitely have characters I dislike in One Piece. How could you not with a series with over 400 characters? I can't stand Pudding. I really don't like her. She is in the current arc, which is Cake Island, and I don't care about the discourse around her. I know everyone wanted her to be one way or another. I just don't like her. She's a big brat, and she's just not cool to me. I don't like her at all. Number 2 on my dislike list, and forgive me, I know a lot of people love him, but I really dislike Bellamy. I just, ever since he first appeared, he's the type of character I don't like. He's super arrogant, he's super full of himself, he's such a little bootlicker to Doflamingo, and there's just a lot that I dislike about him. And people said to me, why? His redesign is so cool, and to me it's not. And I'm still a little peeved that he got a POP and Timeskip Smoker didn't. That has nothing to do with anything, that's me being crazy. But yeah, I've never liked Bellamy. Number 3 that I can think of right off the bat is I hate the way Oda depicted Okama Island. I feel like he's so much better than going down to that base joke of like haha cross-dressing. He did such an amazing job with Ivankov and with Bon Clay and those characters that it was just such a shame to see the island not live up to them. So yeah, I really don't like that. I think that was a poor choice on his part. I know he can do better, and maybe that's why so many people are sour on it, but yeah, not my favorite. I'm trying to think of other characters, and I don't have any that are standing out to me right now. So if I think of some more, I'll let you know in the comments. What's your favorite One Piece arc? I have a lot of arcs that seem to tie with each other that I think are really good, and I bounce back and forth between rereading them. My favorite is still the Great War, the Marineford arc. I think that one is so good. And the reason why it's so good is all of this development early on in the series leads up to it. And I think it's just brilliant the way Oda weaved in, like, you know, Ace, and weaved in all of the admirals and all of these things that come together, things with Crocodile and Whitebeard. So yeah, I love the way that arc sets up, and it has such an incredible finale. That's gotta be my favorite. I still go back to that one quite often. Next set of questions is from Gigi from Anime Palooza. She's amazing. Please go check out her channel. What's your favorite anime not a lot of people have heard of? Not heard of? Oh, I guess Galaxy Express 39. That's one of my top 3 favorites. A lot of people that are into classic anime know of it, but a lot of people that I talk to today just don't know what it is and don't know where it comes from or who made it. So yeah, that one's definitely my favorite. I always want a reason to talk about that. This question's really cute. When you get your weeb wall, how will you arrange your figures? The way I like to arrange figures is kind of, same scale goes together, same series goes together. I like floating shelves and I like things that look like displays. So I'm gonna try to make some really cool displays, maybe incorporate some posters and art books with them, make it kind of fun and interesting, jazz it up a bit. Next set of questions is from Anime Lover, who has an amazing channel and a wonderful collection. Please check her out as well. What is one thing you would like to start doing on your channel? This was also a question from BB's World as well. One thing I really want to do, but I'm hesitant to start it, is do some anime reviews. And I don't want to do full-fledged reviews. I kind of want to take a series that you guys suggest to me and give you guys my thoughts and a little rundown on it. And I want to bounce back between older series and new series. And I'm hesitant to do it because, again, if I have a negative opinion, it's only my opinion and I don't want to offend anyone. And I feel like with the internet anymore, people are so willing to offend and shock just to get views, and I don't want to turn into a reviewer like that. And I also don't know if you guys really want to hear me chatting so much, especially since I find that the items on my channel are what make my channel interesting, not necessarily what are your hopes for your channel in the future. Honestly, I do this out of fun. It's just my hobby and my happy place that I invite people to come join. So I just want my channel to keep going, essentially. Just follow me along with my collecting journey. And if I ever do complete my collection, then the channel will be complete. But we'll see when that happens because they keep making amazing figures and awesome anime. So I don't know when it'll ever end. Next set of questions comes from Lolly Exodonut. Hey babe, you are so fun. I really enjoy you. The first question is, what made you start collecting figures? I think it's just kind of always been in my nature. As a kid, I had a lot of toys. In fact, I still have my Star Trek figures from when I was a kid. But I've always liked items and collecting, and I had a lot of Pokemon stuff as a kid, and I had a lot of Disney stuff as a kid. So getting older and making my own money, it just naturally started happening. And it also helped that in college I met a lot of other people that were figure collecting, so maybe that was part of the influence. But yeah, it was basically right after college when I had jobs that I started collecting. Okay, the next one is from Lolly X Donut and also Blue Rabbit. What is your favorite figure in your current collection? This is gonna sound really silly and, I don't know, not very impressive, but I have the Taito prize figure of the conductor from Galaxy Express 39. And those prize figures can be kind of pricey and kind of hard to find, but I have one and I love him. And he's just my boo. He's packed away right now, sadly. I also recently acquired this trading figure. It's the conductor and Claire. And this is the rare chase figure that's the alternate color of the conductor. He never actually wore these colors, but hey, they made the figure, so of course I wanted to have it. So yeah, I really like anything conductor. Next question, what is your most wanted figure, but you can't get your hands on it? They recently made one of the most amazing Smoker figures I've ever seen in my life. I think it was JRP Productions, and it's this resin figure. I'll put a picture up, but it's Smoker from Punk Hazard, and he looks badass, and I want him, but I don't want to spend up to $500 on him. Damn it. Last question from Lolly X Donut, and this one's actually pretty cute. Am I a boy or a girl? Lolly, that doesn't matter, because to me, you're an angel. Ooh, and now we get questions from Dynamic Dylan, who you guys know is one of my favorite YouTubers. Please go check him out. How did you get into drawing art? I don't know, man. I've just always been doing it ever since I was a kid. My mom actually said I used to steal receipts and crayons and just color them in and make drawings on them. I don't know. I've always been doing it. It's one of those things I've constantly been doing, and then I ended up in art school for it. That leads to the next question, which is, did you take art classes? Yes, I did. I have a drawing and painting major in fine arts from OSU, and I can actually show you guys some of my older drawings that I didn't sell that are hanging out in my house for no reason. So that'll give you an idea of where my talents are. If you see any of my digital art or any of my fan art that I post, that's not what I specialize in. That's just me trying out new techniques and things. So they're not the best, but I promise I do actually have some schooling. Favorite character to draw? I tend to go between like horror figures and like really surreal looking people or animals, and also really cutesy, cartoony, squishy looking animals and things. That's why I like all the Yokai Watch characters. Those are my absolute favorite things to draw. My favorite part of drawing is actually inking, hence the ink in my name. Ink is also because of the fact that I like card collecting and image collecting, and ink because it's the favorite part of art that I like to do. Who are your top 3 husbandos? Oh man, I got this question a lot this time around, and I also got a lot of them from people who were just anonymously giving me questions because I opened up questions to that. And you know what? For this question, I'll give you my top 3 video game husbandos, and then I'll do the anime ones for the anonymous ones. Number 1, Garcia Hotspur from Shadows of the Damned. I'll put a picture up after this because he is gorgeous and he's amazing and I love his personality and I want his purple jacket. Number 2, Kiryu Kazuma from all of the Yakuza games. I love him. He's just so wonderful and so strong, and he has that voice. Yes, he is a husbando for sure. Number 3, my trash king husband, which is Travis Touchdown from No More Heroes. Gosh, I love him so much. He is so amazing. So yeah, those are my top 3 husbandos because I tend to like video game men a little bit more than anime men. This next set of questions comes from an amazing YouTuber by the name of Blue Rabbit, and she has the cutest videos. If you like seeing hauls and pretty boys, you've got to check out her channel. Her first question, what is your favorite video game? Bam! I have Psychonauts right here. Psychonauts is like my favorite. I've played this game so many times. This box is one of the original pre-order boxes. I know, not very many people pre-ordered this, but I sure did. Yeah, I just love this game. Everything about the characters and the gameplay, it just works. It's so fun and imaginative. I even have, yep, the original demo disc. This is the demo I played that made me decide to pre-order, and I kept it along with all of these. I actually think I should get this and try out the PS2 version, so I might do that because I'm always in want of playing this again. But there are a lot of game series that I like because I love Legend of Zelda, I love all of the Assassin's Creed games. There's just so many good video games. It's really hard to narrow it down to one, but that's the one that I play the most. This one's a really good question. What non-anime TV shows do you follow? This one's weird because I don't really like a lot of television these days. I feel like sitcoms are so stale and so scripted and so formulaic anymore that they just don't interest me. The type of stuff I like to watch on TV is a little bit different. I love things, I don't know if you guys will know these, if they show these around the world, but one thing I love is American Pickers. It's these 2 guys that go through people's barns and they find like unique antique items to buy off of them. I don't know why, I can just watch that for hours because I think it's interesting how much weird junk people keep in their barns and houses. It's just fascinating. I love things like Antiques Roadshow. Actually, the British version of Antiques Roadshow is amazing. I love that. I really want to watch more episodes of that. I also like, Mysteries at the Museum. Every Sunday morning when I'm eating breakfast, I watch Mysteries at the Museum because I love museums and historical pieces, and they always find the weirdest stories to talk about, and I love weird history. So those are the type of TV shows I watch. I just don't watch anything on networks. I don't know, they just don't interest me. If I have time, I'm gonna play a video game or I'm gonna watch an anime. I'm not gonna watch TV. If you could do anything as a career, what would it be? I don't know. That's actually really hard. I think careers are interesting because they have good and bad with every single career, and there's no such thing as a perfect job or a perfect career. Lately I've been getting really into podcasts and listening to different DJs and things, and I think if you could just sit and talk about something you love on repeat all the time, that's like one of my dream jobs. I wish I could make money off YouTube even, but I don't see that happening anytime soon for me. But that seems like a dream job. That seems awesome. What figure are you looking forward to getting in the next year? One of my most anticipated just came in. Look at Smoker. Look at this amazing Smoker. I have to do a video review on him. I haven't done it yet, but man, he's awesome. So I've been waiting for this guy since January, and Banpresto just kept pushing back that Sculptures release. I don't know why. The next one is the Zelda Nendoroid Breath of the Wild. I got the DX version coming in the mail, so I'm excited about that. And then there's an Osamatsu-san figure that I'm also really excited about. Next questions are coming from Blichichigo66. Hi, you're awesome. I just can't get enough of you. We talk on Twitter all the time. Very cool person. Really adore you. Can't wait to answer your questions. So the first question being, what anime do you love but don't often get to talk about? Rakugo. I love Rakugo. This anime is so good. This is a great josei anime and manga series, and the first season is superb. I really love the build-up. I want to talk about this for a little bit now that I get a chance. I don't know that I'll ever get to do a full review of it. Rakugo is great because it starts off as this simple story of this guy that wants to follow this master, and then you get into the main story of the master's life. And it's fascinating and amazing. The problem with it is it's kind of impenetrable. The first 2 episodes are really hard to get through. It's a lot of setup, but then once you get on the ride of the story, it builds up to this climax at the end. And it's fascinating because it's this one big story being told, and then all of these actual traditional Rakugo stories that come into play inside of the story that also have meaning to what's going on. It's fascinating and I love it, and I love the art in it. I want to get more people into it, but those first 2 episodes, man, they are a wall, and that's the problem. But yeah, thank you for asking about that, because I just wanted to gush about Rakugo for a little bit. What is your favorite animated series outside of anime? One of the best animated series that means a lot to me is Samurai Jack from Genndy Tartakovsky. I love Samurai Jack. I really enjoyed this last season where it finally gets an ending. They rushed it, and that's a problem, but for what they did, it was amazing. And just going back and enjoying that series and the fullness of the art and the style and the way Jack presents himself and the way Aku is just one of my favorite villains. I just love that series. It's so great. But I think we're also kind of in a golden age because we have a lot of good cartoons coming out in the US right now. I really like Steven Universe. I really like Adventure Time. I was a big fan of Chowder back in the day. I used to watch Chowder with my brother whenever we got the chance. And I liked Flapjack. I don't know, we've just had a lot of good cartoons coming out, and it's really fun. Ooh, another one that's really good to check out is Gumball. That one has great writing and I really enjoy it. This next set of questions comes from my good friend Boosterbox Buster. Oh, and also, before I get to the questions, Booster is actually having his own Q&A session up soon, so please go over to his channel and ask him a bunch of questions. I really want him to have an amazing Q&A experience because these videos are really fun to do. First question from Booster, what do you do with your figure and video game boxes? Sadly, due to a lack of room, I don't really keep a lot of boxes. I will keep my video game boxes because then it's really easy to pop video games back on a shelf. Figure boxes are a little bit more difficult. They tend to be so much larger than the figure, and I tend to just get rid of a lot of them. I wish I could have kept them, but I can't. The only figure boxes I keep are for my really large scale figures that are kind of delicate, you know, like my Utena or Princess of the Crystal or my crocodile figure. Yeah, those are really big and they kind of need their boxes for my move, so those are the only ones I have kept. Next question, what do you prioritize when buying a figure? It's really strange for me because I tend to look directly at a figure and decide if I like the figure itself. You know, I might love the IP it comes from and I might love the character, but if I don't love the way the figure looks, I'm not gonna get it. So that's number 1 on the list. Number 2, sadly, price. It's really a shame because if I could, I would just have way too many figures and just keep buying them. I mean, who wouldn't? But yeah, price is a big determining factor for me in my collection. So that's why I have a lot more Figuarts Zeros than I do of the POPs, etc, etc. The other thing I really care about is the character and the IP. I just tend to like figures a little bit more when it's something I know. Speaking of that, I've also been asked this anonymously a few times, so I'm going to include it in here. People ask me how do I feel about a collector buying a figure of a character they don't know from a series they don't know. And my opinion is that yes, if you like that figure, buy it. It helps the companies, and if a figure is so good that you like it despite not knowing the character or the series it's from, but you appreciate the sculpt work on it, if you appreciate the paint work, if you appreciate the whole piece, then yeah, it should be part of your collection, and maybe it inspires you to learn about that character and that series. So there's nothing wrong with buying a figure that you don't know. I'm in full support of it. I think it's great. For anime figures, do you prefer static figures or posable figures? I like both. Both have their pros and cons. Generally, I tend to like static figures a little bit more, and it's because I find when I have posable figures, I put them in the one pose I really like, and then I never touch them again. And other people, I assume, are changing up their poses repeatedly. That's why you have a posable character. But yeah, I definitely prefer a static figure, and I prefer static figures that come with changeable parts. I like being able to choose the parts and getting exactly the pose or the representation I want. But yeah, I tend to like static figures a little bit more, but I definitely own Reveltech, I definitely own Figma. Nendoroids can sometimes count as posable, so I like both. I tend to prefer static. Last question from my good friend Booster, have you ever cosplayed? And if so, who did you cosplay? Yes. Back when I was first attending conventions, I was a cosplayer. I did cosplay. The very first cosplay that I ever did was Sailor Jupiter. She's my favorite Sailor Scout. I love her. And of course, I also had my hair cut exactly the same. I had the bangs and I kept my hair up. So it felt natural to cosplay as Sailor Jupiter. Also, it helped that I was taller than my friends, and my one friend Bobby, she dyed her hair blue and always went as Sailor Mercury. Bam! The other cosplay that I did was Ren Mihashi from Ufuri, because I love Ufuri and I love Ren. He's like my baby child. So I did cosplay as Ren, and I think my friend was Abe, so that was a really fun one. The other thing I cosplayed, and it's a very unknown thing, but I did this a long time ago, I cosplayed as Ronkan from Silver Diamond, which is a manga series, and it doesn't even have an anime or anything, but yeah, I cosplayed as Ronkan because I had my hair cut and dyed for Ren anyway, so I did that as well. Sadly, I don't have pictures of any of these cosplays. They died along with my old laptop. So yeah, I don't have pictures. Otherwise I'd show you guys, but yeah, sorry, no, I don't have pictures. That was fun. I would love to cosplay again. My dream cosplay, if you can have one, would be Utena from Revolutionary Girl Utena. But yeah, I don't know. I'm also not the type of person that likes to show off my body. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll cosplay again in the future. Elsie Hime, hi hun! You are awesome. I love chatting with you. You're so great. Had questions, 2 questions that I have the same answer for. She asked me who is best magical girl and who is best anime girl. They're one and the same for me because this is also going to be my answer again later. But Utena from Revolutionary Girl Utena, she is my waifu. She's my absolute favorite. If you want to make me happy on Twitter, just send me pictures of Utena at random. They'll always make me smile. She's just the kind of girl I wanted to be. I just love that series, and I really love Utena. So yeah, definitely, she fits the bill for me. And yeah, technically she's a magical girl. She sword fights on a magical castle plane. That's magical enough for me. Okay, here are the questions that people kept asking me that didn't want to be mentioned in the video. Top 3 waifus, top 3 husbandos. Ooh, man, you guys. Ooh, that is a doozy. Wow, that's a lot. Waifus. All right, let's start with that. Utena from Revolutionary Girl Utena. She's number 1. She's my fave. I love her. Number 2 is going to be Nami from One Piece. She's a badass and I love her and she's great. She's number 2 on the list. Number 3, Michiko from Hachen to Michiko. She is just queen. I love her. She's so tough and so sweet and so complex a character, and I love that representation in anime. Please, more badass women like that. Top 3 husbandos is a little bit harder for me, actually. It's hard to like categorize which ones are top tier. Number 1 is going to be Smoker from One Piece. Just my personal favorite. He's my number 1. I love him. He's great. I just can't get enough Smoker in my life, I swear. I'm trying to think of husbandos that aren't also from One Piece. Ooh, isn't that kind of crazy? Oh, Vash the Stampede, definitely on the list. I love him, he's so great. If you haven't seen Trigun, at least give it a shot, because man, that's a good series. And Vash is just like adorable and wonderful, and I can't get enough of him. Oh, Roger from the Big O, Roger Smith. He is dreamy. I remember watching the Big O on TV and thinking, what a great dude. But there are also some honorable mentions on there. Jonathan, the very first Jonathan from JoJo. I love him. He's my favorite JoJo. Oh, he's cute. He's great. Yeah, definitely honorable mention on the list. Do you have any tattoos or piercings? No, I don't have any tattoos. Like I said earlier, I don't like to show off my body. I do have piercings. I have my ears pierced. And I would love to get a couple more piercings. I just never get around to it. I don't think about it. But someday I will. I'll get a couple more piercings in my ears. That is it for this Q&A. Thank you guys so much for participating. It's always really fun to talk to you guys one-on-one like this. I hope I can do it some more. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are interested in anime by suggestion, because I kind of want to do that for this channel, but I also don't want to put videos out that you guys aren't going to enjoy. So I would love your feedback just on that, if anything. Anyway, that is it for this one. I will go back behind the camera where I belong and do some more figure reviews and card openings for you guys in the future. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye guys! Mwah.